Alright, I like that. So, let's roiling. Sacrifice a land. Trigger. We need to make sure we keep enough for a Yasharn. Yeah, this would have gotten out of hand pretty quick. Oh, man. Alright, alright. So we're chilling. I think... Greetings, happy friends, and welcome back to the MTG Struggle Bus, where I struggle playing Magic, so hopefully you can struggle less. And we are at it again, this time dabbling in a little Celestia Landfall, capitalizing on a card that's already seen played, you guys know it, which is Scute Swarm, being able to make a million copies of these little buggers to get our opponent dead. But we're adding a slight twist to it in the form of Dollhouse of Horrors, where now each one of those, instead of being 1/1s, can exponentially pump up the other ones, making some ginormous creatures. So, that being said, and we have multiple win cons. It's pretty much a go wide deck, to be honest with you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into it. We're running 4 overgrown farmlands, 1 branch loft pathway, 3 Arctic tree lines, 2 layer of the Hydra, 7 forest, and 7 plains. We're running 3 Prosperous Innkeepers, which is a 1/1 halfling citizen for 1 green. When Prosperous Innkeeper enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. So a little bit of ramp, but whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. So we're using this to kind of mitigate some of the early damage we might take by gaining a ton of life off of a Scute Swarms. We are running 4 Murasa Root Grazers. This card is very key to the matchup here. Reason being, it's a 2/2 for 3 beast, green for green-white, vigilance, and then you can tap, you may put a basic land card from your hand to the battlefield, and or you may return a basic land you control to its owner's hand. So essentially a way to kind of start ramping us, but also triggering our landfall effects at instant speed and or recycling our lands to make that happen. Now this is kind of a little twist that I want to try out, but we're running 2 Rite of Harmony. This is an instant for green-white. Whenever a creature or enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. So it is only until this turn, but the thing is that you know, it has the potential with Scute Swarm to draw us a bunch of cards. We do have to be careful because it is not a May ability, so we do have the chance of milling ourselves out quite heavily. The flip side of that is, if we do go over 7 cards and we have to discard, we can discard a Scute Swarm to be able to trigger it with Dollhouse. So there's a little bit of synergy there, as well as being able to flash it back. So, you know, like I said, we still have to be careful because we could easily draw, you know, 10, 30 cards off this, but I think it's worth including to a respect. We're running 3 Wedding Announcements, which is an enchantment for 2 white. At the beginning of your end step, put an invitation counter on Wedding Announcement. If you attacked with 2 or more creatures this turn, draw a card. Otherwise, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Then, if Wedding Announcement has 3 or more invitation counters on it, transform it. And then the flip side, it's simply an Anthem, +1/+1 to all our creatures. Just a way to gum up the board, another card to hit off of Storm the Festival, right? And just a way, this could easily be something like a Binding Time, right? Borrowed Time, if you want to run more removal instead, but I chose to something that gums up the board, gives us some chump blockers, can potentially draw us a card or 2. We're running another key part of the deck. We're running 4 Roiling Regrowths. This is an instant for 2 green. Sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So another reason why we're running more basics than anything else to make sure we can do this, but it's a way to put 2 lands into play. They do come into play tapped, but it is still ramp at instant speed. So the thing here is they both come into play simultaneously, so they can do some really sweet trigger abilities with Scute Swarm. And allows us to kind of capitalize, almost use it as a combat trick or end of turn, where opponent may like, okay, I could block 2 or 3 swarms, and then all of a sudden you play this end of turn, and now they're dealing with like 9. So that's why we're running it. Okay. The linchpin of the deck, Scute Swarm, is a 1/1 insect for 2 green. Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control. Create a 1/1 green insect creature token. If you control 6 or more lands, create a token that's a copy of Scute Swarm instead. So obviously we want to try to play this when we're playing our 6th land. That way they automatically start making copies of themselves versus just the basic 1/1 insect. But sometimes you will do that to facilitate blocks and just getting on the board. We're running 3 Feldar Retreats as another way to capitalize on Landfall. It is an enchantment for 3 white. Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, choose 1. You can either make a 2/2 white cat beast creature token, or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn. So very powerful card, especially once again when we can use it as a pseudo combat trick or end of turn using Roiling Regrowth and Marasa Rootgrazer to put in the lands into play at instant speed. Very powerful card. We're running 2 Yasharn's Implacable Earth. This is a 4/4 elemental boar for 2 green white. When Yasharn enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic forest and a basic plains card. Reveal those, put them into your hand, and then shuffle. So of course this is another reason why we're running more basics, but it is nice to know that when we have our 4th land drop, we will guarantee our 5th and 6th, which obviously you can see the synergy there triggering additional landfall effects. But there's additional text on this guy that actually becomes quite relevant with things like mono black and even Izzet. Players can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents to cast spells or activate abilities. What this means is that it turns off things like Skullport Merchant and Deadly Dispute, Windfall treasure tokens, is it treasure tokens. It's actually pretty powerful sometimes and can completely shut off certain strategies. We're running 4 Doomskars because this deck can be a little slow and we want to be able to make up time if our opponent gets ahead of us. This is a sorcery for 3 white. Destroy all creatures. Foretell 1 white. Now, a sweet combo that I mentioned earlier, which is why we're visiting this deck. Dollhouse of Horrors is an artifact for 5 generic. Pay 1 and tap. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of an exiled card, except it's a 0/0 construct artifact in addition to its other types. And it has this creature gets +1/+1 for each construct you control. It gains haste until end of turn, activate only as a sorcery. So remember that this does give you the ability to, when you copy Scute Swarm, it makes an exact copy of itself. So it's going to be a construct. And it's going to have haste, so that was my bad, because I'll tell you right now in the games, there were a couple times where, I don't know if I want to say I forgot, because I was doing like Roiling Regrowth at instant speed, so maybe it was more viable to just make a combat trick versus just all-out swing. I'm not 100% sure. You guys could check it out. But, you know, that's completely viable, because you can explode and just smash your opponent out of nowhere. But yeah, that's the thing, is that this can make Scute Swarm get out of hand very quickly. And the cool thing about it as well is all our other creatures, we're really more worried about their keywords and their keywords than we are their actual stats. So them coming in as a 1/1 isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? And the other flip side to that as well is that if we already have Scute Swarms that are being constructs, those guys are going to come in as pretty big creatures as well. And then finally, to help facilitate our combo and another way to put multiple lands into play in one turn, we're running a playset of Storm the Festival. This is a sorcery for 3 triple green. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put up to 2 permanent cards with mana value 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order and then flashback for 7 green. So of course, just about everything in the deck will trigger this. Actually, I take that back because Roiling Growth, and Doomskar do not. But everything else does because it's a permanent in some form or fashion. That's once again why we're running Writing Announcement. That could easily be like the Rite of Harmonies could be another enchantment to use as removal, or Planeswalkers. Dollhouse and Doomskar are kind of what took the place of Wrenn in this deck. I think Wrenn does quite a bit of work in this deck for sure, but I wanted to do the Dollhouse combo and I wanted to have board wipe. So there you have it. You could do maybe 3 Doomskars and cut a Storm and have 2 Wrens in here maybe. But yeah, that is the deck. I want to give a shout out to a member of the Struggle Bus, Yuri Laponte. Thank you so much for tagging along on this ride and journey with us. I really do appreciate you. You're awesome. But, happy friends, that is the deck. So, let's find out if we could really swarm our opponents with these Scute Swarms. I'm so excited. Well, we're on the draw. It seems like a little bit of a slow hand, but we can ramp into some sweetness, so I think we're going to keep this. Go Regrowth into Feldar Retreat into Storm the Festival seems decent. We'll see how it plays out. Like, this could work out pretty bad for us. But we'll see. We'll see. We technically have all 6 lands in our hand for Storm the Festival, so that's a good thing. Our opponent playing white, but not Snow White. So that's maybe blue-white control. Blue, red-white. Okay. Maybe the equipment deck. What we look at. Ooh, that was a nice draw. Very nice draw, actually. So now we could save our Into the Royal, or correction, our Rolling Regrowth for either having Retreat in play or, well, shoot, I guess also ramp into Yarshin. Let's do that. And then, yeah, I think I like just getting this online. Making sure we can hit all our stuff and things feels pretty good. Why is this not? It's weird. Alright, our opponent's on Complete America. Fair enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could potentially storm the festival here. We could also just get in there, right? Because we do have vigilance. So let's do that. We can go a little bit wider. Make a 2/2. Go to attacks. Opponent's probably gonna block to take 2. That seems fair. And then I think here, let's go ahead. Put a basic land into play. And then that way we can get +1/+1 counters to everything. Probably should have waited, actually. You know, we could do this at instant speed. So Celestis is good. That means that they're taking this turn off. They could have a Fading Hope, so it's not like we're going to completely crush them. Alright, so one of these is a board wipe, right? So maybe we hold off on the Storm the Festival for right now? Or can we just kill them? So maybe we should have just made another dude, actually, now I think about it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11... 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I think we actually can kill them. Put counters on everything. Into the Royal Regrowth. Sacking a land. Grab. Put those into play. Trigger. +1 counters. +1 counters. Go to combat. And our opponent scoops it up. Yes! Alright, 3 lands, a Regrowth, and a Yasharn. I think we're doing all right. And then we have our Rite of Harmony. Should we draw a Scute Swarm later? That feels kind of good. Alright, hitting our land drops is nice. Gotta appreciate that in the Landfall deck. Good get wedding announcement going. Innkeeper, that checks out. Pass the turn. So, question is, do we want to ramp or announcement? I think we're just going to get announcement going to have some kind of a board presence. Plus, there may be a position where we could draw an extra card. Soren, alright.
No cost is too great to quell my people's savagery.
Fair enough, opponent. Fair enough.
Dire
Nice,
times
nice.
call for dire tactics.
Alright, let's go ahead and... Ooh, Doom Scar's not bad. But we're just going to go ahead and get Wedding Announcement on. We're just going to go ahead and follow our curve here. No reason to like get too crazy with it. Maybe hold on to the Roiling Regrowth for when we draw a Scute Swarm. Yasharn may... Ooh, full-blown Abzan. Alright, our opponent's going up, man. They are ticking up, not feeling... Wow.
Innistrad is free.
Nice, nice. Right. Double Roiling Regrowth. Let's go here. And we'll just trade with the Chariot. There you go. Yeah, we'll definitely hold on to the Regrowth now to trigger. No point in attacking. So we're in a bit of a pickle for sure. We're going to try to draw a card next turn before we board wipe. I like our opponent's deck so far, though. Them drawing, like, double lands off of Sorin has been really nice, though. Alright. That's what's up. Man, wow. It's freaking sweet. Nice. Taking out... Alright, yep, that checks out. They're going to suit up the Chariot. We're probably just going to lose to a Sorin then, I guess. We're going to block Chariot 100%. We're going to gain some life. We're going to block. And then we're just going to board wipe this turn, it looks like. Yeah, that's quite a bit of damage that could swing our way. But has 2 unknowns in hand so far. But, I mean, they're playing it smart, right? Like, this sets them up so they could potentially start minusing Sorin. But, I mean, we get a 3-3 on the board. It's not nothing. So, man, if we get a Scute Swarm, we can kind of go off, honestly. So, alright, fair. This is not looking good for the home team. There we go.
A fair trade.
So, Rite of Harmony, right? Play Scute Swarm, play. Then we, yeah. So, Rite of Harmony. Scute Swarm, draw a card. Play a land. Play a Scute Swarm, draw a card. And we got our Dollhouse. Alright, alright. So, didn't quite get to go off, but we can go off next turn, which is sweet. So we get to go right for 4, then play a land, then harmonize. So we're going to get to go pretty wide on this board. We'd have to be careful about Sorin, so we are going to go ahead and chump block the tree folk if they choose to attack. But we may... Oh. Oh, opponent.
Feel my wrath.
When you can walk through walls?
Oh, opponent. Yes.
Too easy.
Yes. Oh, we get to do it. We get to do it. Oh no, an apparition? Really? I mean, attacking here. Attacking here lets us kill something? Alright, so if we Dollhouse... Man, I wish we could go off. I really want to try to go off. Alright, let's attack first. And what do we care about the most? Let's kill Ren. They're obviously going to block here. I mean, I feel like our opponent doesn't have an answer to Scute Swarms since they were so aggressive, right? Can we do it again? We can't, unfortunately. So, Dollhouse plus Scute Swarm. And then next turn we can maybe go off. Exile Scute Swarm, bring it back. Okay. Maybe that attack was a little aggressive. We're probably gonna have to chump block Chariot. Okay. I think we are gonna chump block here. Maybe not. We're gonna get to go kind of off. So play. I don't even think we play this Scute Swarm, honestly. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're gonna leave this guy back. They're playing Yarshin. Nice. This is super cool. I like what they got going on here. So we're gonna try to go off here. We gotta be careful though. Because it just says draw a card. It doesn't say you may. So it might be a little scary.
I got you.
Opponent digging. Alright, in mill, that's good for us.
Great potential.
Announcement. Alright, so I need to try to not like freak out here, right? Man, I wish we had an innkeeper. That'd been so sweet. So if we do this, right? That's 4. We have 3. We could still roiling and kind of. All right, that doesn't go off. It does give us a full grip though. If we do that, that leaves us 3. We play a land. We can roiling regrowth, or do we just double regrowth here? I think we keep this Scute Swarm in hand. So play a land, trigger. Because these come into play at the same time. So attack their planeswalkers. Alright, I like that. So let's roiling. Sacrifice a land. Trigger. We need to make sure we keep enough for a Yasharn. Yeah, this would have gotten out of hand pretty quick. Oh, man. Alright. So we're chilling. I think we hold the rest because this is still pretty ridiculous at this point, right? So let's activate to get back Yasharn. Oh, we got to do it. That's great. All right. We have to be careful now. Our Into the Royal only gets us 2 more lands. So question is, I think we're fine Wedding Announcement. Oh yeah, because we'll draw a card. Wedding Announcement draws a card here. So we're tapping out. Our opponent has 1 card left in hand. They're not going to deal damage. Oh, really? We had to draw our other land? So you have 1 basic left. So now regrowth or rolling regrowth is not as busted as it could be. But our opponent has to come up with an answer here. They drew a land.
Blood for knowledge.
They get to exile 1 card. And they scoop it up. Oh man, this deck. That was fun. We go first, and we have double Doomscar to buy us time. Unfortunately, though, we're missing lands. The Scute Swarm. I mean, look, we get 1 land. We're in decent shape, right? Because we can regrowth. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. We're a little heavy on the land side, so I think we can facilitate this. Now, of course, if we go up against control, we're in a little bit of a pickle. The old courtesy trap for Reno. But, you know, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty skeptical. All right, cool. We got there. Oh, nice. That's actually great because now we get to double regrowth. I mean, we could, yeah, let's just regrowth here. So we'll wait on our opponent's end step. That just puts us ahead, right? So by the time we play Scute Swarm, Merchant, so they're gonna have Blood in the Snow, right? So, I mean, it's not horrible. That's why essentially we're running what we're running. Missing a land drop there, not the best. Let's go ahead and get what we need. And, oh, I'll just tap that. I don't think we're giving away too much information. But let's see here. We can play Scute Swarm trigger. So that could be enough to force the issue. Though, man, we kind of want to keep Yar in play for sure. So let's attack first. So what, Blood in the Snow? Thing is, the Yasharn is so good against this deck because it cuts off all their sacrifice effects. They can't sacrifice anything as long as Yasharn's in play. See, right now they're looking murder. Fair enough. Yeah, that's not the worst. Not the best, but not the worst. Alright, so then now, kind of get to go off here, though. So we get to go Scute Swarm. Play a land. And then we have regrowth, rolling regrowth for the end of their turn. Right? And then we could play Feldar Retreat plus Plains. So this is kind of pushing the issue for our opponent, for sure. Alright, let's rolling regrowth. Sacking an island. I wonder if we should have waited for the retreat. No, I think it's fine. Or, I don't know why I said island. I'm sorry. Disregard me, chat. Trigger, trigger, trigger. Nice. Nice. This is what the deck do. Yes. Trigger. Then we'll give counters to everything. Let's attack. And then we're gonna roiling regrowth again. And this may or may not kill our opponent. This is gonna be a ton of damage here. Man, it feels kind of good when you get to go off, man. Holy cow. They're gonna Deadly Dispute. Alright, that resolves. Let's see here. They have access to 5 mana. Burn down the house is... Alright, they're gonna kill 1. That resolves. So they may survive this. We'll sack a forest. Put a forest and a forest into play. Triggers. Stack like that. +1 counters. +1 counters. I can't help it. It's so much fun when that happens. And... Alright, fair enough. Our opponent is at 4. If they take all their time to board wipe, we do have Lair of the Hydra. I wonder if it was worth activating it. I actually should have. Yeah, I should have activated it. Oh, man. So... Didn't quite miss lethal, but I think we were in a position where we should have. Probably actually should have even attacked. I didn't think about that. Alright. So the good news is we can actually Doomscar to check. So Doomscar. See if our opponent does anything. They're gonna Deadly Dispute. Alright, that feels good. there's only a specific amount of cards that get them out of this. So let's see here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we can make a dude, right? Is that too greedy? Five. Activate for 4, and they scoop it up. Yes. Whew. I like to be cautious. All right, we're on the play. No ramp, but we do have our colors, and we have a curve. So let's go ahead and keep this one. Hopefully we get to see some action on to some form or fashion. Play our planes. So what do we like to see here? Probably a roiling growth. All right, mono white, and we don't have our board wipes. Unfortunate. We're not gonna write this turn. Obviously, that's kind of to go off. At least Wedding Announcement will be able to buy us some time, though. Of course, with Hopeful Initiate, that may not last. Hoping Feldar Retreats can make us some dudes. Okay. Alright, so they're definitely going to get in a hit for at least 5 next turn. Could be more if they drop an Aspirant. Well, I'm trying to figure out what we have, I guess, but truth is we just don't. It's kind of a little wombo combo. Alright, our turn. Alright, at least we get to make our land drops. So the question is, do we Scute Swarm or do we Feldar Retreat next turn, right? And I'm halfway tempted to just play Retreat, because I feel like Scute Swarm is going to be one of the ways we like kind of stabilize here, right? If we can get to a place where we can Rite of Harmony, then Scute Swarm. Okay. Alright. Come on. Give me, you know what? I'll be okay with a Doomscar. Just draw me a Doomscar. Land Doomscar, right? This is gonna get really ugly really fast. Right. Man, it's pretty horrible, actually. Yeah, it's pretty horrible to draw both our rights. That's the reason why we're only running 2 right now. We could have drawn a card, but I don't think that's good enough. I guess we could have cycled them. I don't think that's correct either. Trying to think what we're doing here. Probably gonna end up playing a land. Play Feldar Retreat on a land, puts 2 2/2s on the board. That's decent. They do have the initiate they can kill something with. Okay. That all triggers, unfortunately. Man, I kind of feel like we need the block here, right? If we don't draw land, we're in trouble on multiple fronts. I think we just need the block, even though... Oh, maybe I should have. That's pretty bad. It's actually pretty darn bad, to be honest with you. I guess we try to draw a card here. Alright, please be a land. Man. That's not great. We kept the 3-lander, so I don't think we were in bad. It just ends up being a little bit of unfortunate. Would not be surprised if one of these is an exile effect, right? That puts us in an awkward spot. They're going to break the Wedding Festival. They do that before they attack so they can get the counter. That makes these blocks less great. Yeah, we really needed a 2/2 there. I think if we drew a land, we would have been in significantly better shape, unfortunately. Drawing a land could allow us to even maybe have done this in instant speed, but... Okay. Fair enough. Interesting that they went for the Feldar Retreat. So we actually still have good blocks here. Oh, no, we don't. Because of the damage. Ah, shoot. Forgot about that. Slightly awkward. Man, we can't get a land to save our lives right now. So what are we trying to do here? We're definitely... Well, we're not going to quite lose this. Wait, no, yeah, they are. Because they're both going to train. And the land's coming to play tapped. So we don't even get to, like, quote-unquote go off. I guess we try to draw again. Put another blocker on the board. Land? Man, we just cannot catch a break. Holy, no, that's right. Well, it kills something. I guess, no, we won't draw a card. Oh, man, Fizzle Sticks. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just doesn't play out the way you want it to, unfortunately. So they get to put a counter on each Hopeful Initiate, and of course yeah, and they have enough mana to do all the things. Okay, our opponent's not doing that, so we get another pass. We get another pass. So if we go land... Yeah, that's fine. Those things aren't doing us any good right now. Let's see if our opponent attacks. Doesn't look like they're going to. Man, I think we might still be a little too late now. So these guys can't kill those dudes, unfortunately. So what are we trying to do here? So alright. So these are automatic blocks. Are we trying to get a Hopeful Initiate off the board? This at least kills that. I think we're just dead. Alright. Come on. Innkeeper. Ugh. Alright, so, I mean, the problem is drawing lands aren't doing us anything. Or, you know what I mean? We're it's so awkward, chat. So, we can hear... And that lets us play a Scute Swarm, right? But that's it. I guess here would have been a position to hold the thing. I still can't believe we've gone this long without drawing a land. That's insane to me. So, Innkeeper... do we just into the Royal so next turn we have stuff going on, right? We have some chump blockers. Or do we just... I think we Scute Swarm. And then we can't attack because Adeline's too big. So no attacks. So I think we try to chump block this turn, and then maybe, like... so painful. So painful. See our opponent attacks. We may have to do some chump blocking this turn. But, 1, 2, 3, 4... I mean, with Innkeeper plus Scute Swarm, we have a chance to come back from this. But I think we just lost... Oh, man. Yeah, and you know, maybe I should have sandbagged that right a little bit longer, maybe, because then we would have drawn a bunch of cards, been able to kind of replenish, we could put extra lands into play, so we have a chance to go off, but unfortunately we're going to have to do some chump blocking here. So obviously Adeline gets chump blocked by the Human, and I think one of our Root Grazers. Unfortunately, they still have the mana to be able to destroy the Wedding Festival, which is unfortunate for us. I don't know if our opponent, they might be waiting for blocks to do that. Yeah, we might just be dead in the water here, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we're just dead, actually, because we have to block both of them, because they could just not... So one we can allow through. This one we can allow through. So we have to block these two. Yeah, gosh. And we need the Scute Swarm to make more dudes. We need Innkeeper. So if we draw a land, what are we looking at? We play Scute Swarm, play a land, makes 2 dudes, gains 2 life. But then that's kind of it, right? What about this? Nope, we still die. Well, then I guess we can at least for sure kill something. We need Scute Swarm. I guess we just deal with that. Wait, hold on. What am I missing? Yes. I think we have to block like this. Yeah, and that's exactly what they were waiting for, which is fair enough. Yeah, because we actually don't even have enough mana to play Dollhouse plus, right? Now we get our land. Gosh, darn it. I think it's just a little too late, though. See, here, comboed with rolling would have been sweet. Go here, it just makes 2 dudes. That's not enough. So we have to go here, play a land, triggers, but they're not even copies. 1, 2, 3, 4. We still block. Yeah, good game. Man, I think we were very capable of winning that game. We just didn't hit land drops, which is unfortunate because we're actually running quite a few lands. On the draw, 2 lands though. We do have our combo, but I don't know if that's good enough. I think we're gonna go ahead and ship this one. It just feels like a slightly too expensive hand. We do have Wedding Festival or Wedding Announcement, but I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan this. Okay, this feels better. We're gonna keep this, and because I'm greedy and want to keep the Dollhouse, let's tuck the Feldar Retreat. That's probably the wrong play, but I want to do this in Scute Swarms, so we're going to keep it. Red 1, or is it? Okay, fair enough, opponent. Let's go ahead and play around the Jiraiya Disruption. The ramp is somewhat relevant, but not horrendous, so I think I like playing around the Jiraiya Disruption a little bit better. Of course, here we could get root, whatever, but I mean, what are you gonna do, right? So let's go ahead and play our land. All right, no Fading Hope. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So what we can do here is play the plains, right? I wish this came into play untapped. So let's attack. Opponent takes it. Maybe. Okay. We're gonna play our plains and we're gonna play Yasharn. If they go to disruption us, we can tap, put the planes into play, and pay for it, and maybe get them. Alright, that resolves. Let's grab our 2 lands. Unfortunate, of course, because, I mean, I wouldn't have hated, like, putting the Hydra in there, but... So let's see, are we gonna get Epiphany this turn? We could. Hall of the Storm Giants. That card's a little annoying for us. Let's go ahead and ramp a little bit. Put the forest they know about into play. Storm the Festival. That's kind of nice. Is there any reason to do this first? Yeah, I guess we can get, yeah, let's storm the festival first. Scute Swarm and a land. Seems fine. No pauses from the opponent. Good to know. So let's get in there. I think it was worth trying out just in case we got Feldar retreat, right? And then we can essentially pump the team. So let's see if our opponent has a board wipe here. We have Dollhouse, so we could do our combo. Iteration, that bodes well for us. They do have a card Foretold, so if they get land here, we could still get hit by Hall of the Storm Giants. The good news is, though, is we can make at least 1 chum blocker. Actually 2, I guess, with Hydra. Hydra! So our opponent's looking at things. Spike Field Hazard. Man, that's a little awkward, because then it shuts off our Dollhouse, and they even see it. Rude. Okay, yeah, that happens. Interesting. Yeah, man, how ironic is that, right? So we still kind of get to go a little wide here. Probably gonna go ahead and fire off. Wow, alright, my opponent scoops it up. I think that was premature, but I'll take it. Well, friends, that is the deck. And I gotta say, it's pretty fun. I think this deck is a contender. I'm going to put this deck at a 4. There is a little bit of specificity or niche to a few of the cards. But overall, I mean, obviously, I think the Rite of Harmonies are flexible, right? That could be just about anything. Dollhouse can go in almost any deck. Yasharn is great. Yeah, I think this is solid. Yeah, this deck is solid. I like it. I'll put it at a 4. I think you could definitely climb with it for sure. You can tweak the numbers of certain things a little bit, but what really puts it over the top, obviously, is Scute Swarm plus Roiling Regrowth. Just being able to activate double triggers because the lands come into play simultaneously at instant speed is huge for the deck. And it has some resilience with Innkeeper and Feldar Retreat. So yeah, I think it's solid. You can maybe trim on one of the Storm to the Festivals, but I wanted to make sure we could do Dollhouse plus Scute Swarm. So it is what it is. But that will do it. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, as always, happy gaming.